originally thought about doing the Boys Hot Dog Club, but we felt like that just did not have a good ring.
That I think that's going back to where you used to live in California.
Hey, this is Zoe with Bronze Serpent Media. I'm here with my buddies on All Over the Place, where the fun sanity never ends.
Hello and welcome back to All Over the Place. I am your host, Eric Portvazic, and I am so excited for a multitude of reasons today. As you can see, I don't have the usual backdrop. We are doing our first remote location. Now, well, I'm remote anyway, but as you can see, I got Aioli Gourmet Burgers in the background. I'm out on the patio here at 32nd and Shea in Phoenix. And well, we'll get to why a little bit later, but I want to bring in my co-host, Jim Culver. Jim, there we go. How are you, my man?
I'm good. I like your new location there. It looks like you're being visited by that mysterious yellow orb in the sky. Say hi to
yeah.
it.
I'm gonna get a burn/tan/burn right now. So yeah, for sure. And also a part of the excitement, Jim, we are welcoming back to All Over the Place our good friend Marty Zamora. Marty, welcome back, my friend.
Gentlemen, good to be back. Thank you for having me. It's been
always a pleasure, whether you're in George Jefferson mode or not. Marty, we missed you, and welcome back, my friend. And another reason for the excitement, now we're going to get into why we are at Aioli Burgers, because we are bringing onto the show a gentleman who is with a group who does a lot of philanthropic good for the community here in Phoenix, and it's about food. And so, as you can see, Marty, Jim, and I all know how to eat. And I want to welcome onto the show from Boys Burger Club, Mike Weinstein. Mike, welcome to All Over the Place.
Hey, gentlemen, and I use the term loosely. It's a pleasure to be with you guys today.
I can live with it. I'm sweating today. I might be delusional. I'll be whatever you want me to be.
Thank you for the loose and
resemble that.
So, Mike, I mentioned it's Boys Burger Club is your organization, and just tell our All Over the Place audience what it is and what inspired it.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's important to understand I am one of the co-founders. Boys Burger Club was founded by some good friends of mine in the real estate space, Brock O'Neill and Nick Wiedekamp. And it really started like years beforehand. I was a longtime radio talk show host on 92.3 KTAR, and I was at a hot dog place. And I was wondering, if I had this guy on the radio show, I bet I could get free hot dogs. So then we launched a segment on the show called It's Business Time. I completely stole a Flight of the Conchords business song as our theme and as our anthem. And then fast forward years later, I was sitting on a panel with these real estate guys, and we got into an argument of where is the best burger in all of Arizona. And my buddy said, Paradise Valley Burger is the best burger. If you don't agree with me, I will pay for lunch. So we said, okay. And so we actually set that up on the first time on December 7th, almost another day that lives in infamy, almost 7 years ago. Or I should say 7 years this December. And so there was 4 of us sitting around, and I thought to myself, man, if I brought in 40 people, I bet you I could get some free burgers. And so then that's how we started. And so we would just started by, just getting a group of people, and doing this on a monthly basis. And I would do kind of what you're doing, Eric. I would go on remote. I'd do a video promo, record it with the owner, the head chef, and I was eating free burgers. So my life, it just came full circle, and I felt like I arrived. And then next thing you know, and this is all prior to COVID, and the next thing you know, 6-7 months later, we were having 100 people showing up each and every month, and we would just try burger places from all around the valley.
I love it. I've been to one so far. I was introduced to the Detroit Coney one. What was the name of the one where I met you?
Detroit Coney Grill, yes, off Hayden and something. Fantastic place.
Awesome. And so, that's an awesome inspiration. And just, with you're saying just the different places that you're trying, how do you determine which one you're going to go to next?
Well, we do it by committee, and it's generally me because my other guys are a little bit more lazy than I am. But I don't know. We just, I've got a memo. I got a list on my phone of when I talk to people, they're like, oh, you got to try this burger. You got to try that burger. And so, and then, again, prior to COVID, we would have these burger places calling us. We've got a pretty big Facebook following. And so now it's at the point is, can they handle a crowd? And we make those calls and just kind of set it up ahead of time. Our expectation of them is make sure that we got enough space and do some sort of special, whether it's a double cheeseburger, soda, and fries for $15 or whatever the case is, so that we can promote the event. But here's Eric. Here's what I tell people. You're going to ask me a bunch of questions. We're talking about burgers, so there's no need to overcomplicate it. We wake up and go, let's go get a bunch of people. Let's get together and have a burger at a place that's either highly recommended or maybe one of us stop by after a round of golf.
Love it. And yeah, it was a great networking thing. And you're there, you're eating food, you're eating burgers. How much better can it be?
We originally thought about doing the boys hot dog club, but we felt like that just did not have a good ring.
That I think that's going back to where you used to live in California.
Yeah, exactly. So we stayed away from that. My next one that I would love to start, but it's time. As you guys know, you guys run a podcast, and a lot of people just don't understand that it takes time, and there's only so much time in the day. But I want to start a boys bourbon club, because if you think I'm passionate about burgers, you should see me around a bottle of bourbon.
A man after my own heart.
Well, see, you've got two people ready to sign up right now for that one. So, or the bourbon and burger club, just make it all one night.
Yeah, it's an interesting story because for your female audience. We as we started to grow, and I remember it was our 1-year anniversary, and we had over 100 people show up to this event. And then I started thinking, okay, this was fun, and it was just a couple dudes, and I'm like, we need to be a little bit more sensitive, and maybe kind of get away with the boys burger club and be a little bit more inclusive. So we actually, for a short period of time, changed it to America's Burger Club. And the women complained because if you show up to one of our events, 30 to 40% of attendees will be females. And they were screaming. They're like, we love the Boys Burger Club. That's the club we want to be part of. And so change it back. So, so in case anyone so if anyone gets really upset at me, I don't care. It's burgers. Don't overcomplicate it.
That's right.
That's awesome.
It's like saying you guys, right? You say you guys. It isn't always men you're talking to.
No.
Gender
It just started with 4 of us. We're just 4 guys. That's how we started. And we just were like, we never knew it was going to be anything. We just said, hey, let's just do this every single month, and we'll call it the Boys Burger Club. And when we started, Facebook, or now Meta, had different. I'm not going to call them policies, but back then, if you had a private group, you could invite any one of your friends, and they automatically were joined to the group. So we woke up and we're like, oh my gosh, we got like 3,500 people on this Facebook group. And then they changed their algorithm and said, no, it has to be people that actually choose to accept the invite. So we're at about anywhere between 2,000 and 2,100. But we never intended it to be anything other than a couple guys getting together every month, having some burgers, and trying to get some free burgers.
And you mentioned the 1-year anniversary, and this is why I'm here, for the 7th anniversary that's coming up on December 6th. It's going to be here at the Aioli Gourmet Burgers on 32nd and Shea here in Phoenix. And how exciting is that you've gone from the 1-year anniversary, now it's a 7-year anniversary?
Well, it's really exciting for us. And like everything, everybody lost a lot of steam during COVID. So we didn't do anything during COVID. I went from the corporate side of my company in the real estate space and got into the production side. So I did not have as much time. So I would say we've been very infrequent over the last couple of years. And then about 4 months ago, we've just made a concerted effort. Okay, we're going to get back to doing one a month. And we're right now, I think the last one that we did it at Happy's Hamburgers on Scottsdale and Shea. And we had about 40 people. We're expecting, because some of our partnerships with our December 6th event, we're expecting about 100 people.
Well, I'm sitting here on the patio where I'm fairly confident it's going to be. So I'm looking forward to this myself. And I was introduced to Aioli Gourmet Burgers, maybe about a year or so ago. Love it. Great stuff. So, yeah. And no, I mentioned earlier as well that a lot of all the philanthropic work you do in association with Boys Burger Club. How do you come up with the different groups? And let me preface that first with, it's going to be at this particular one, this coming one, the one on December 6th. It's the Be Kind Foundation's blanket drive. Benefiting Hanging On to Hope. So in addition to that one, how does the leadership come up with which philanthropy is going to be represented?
Yeah, in this particular one, the blankets are going to go for battered women at a battered women's shelter. So we're pretty excited to give back. But it really started because my son, my youngest, he went to a private school at the time, and he had to do a certain amount of community hours. And we would always get to the deadline. And I said to my wife, I go, well, what if we bring Bryson and he just takes, or Quentin, I should say, takes pictures and videos for us? Would that count as community service? And she goes, no way. And then the next day I go, well, what if we sponsored, and this one was New Life Center, domestic violence shelter. What if we sponsored them? We had everybody bring diapers and wipes. And then I had him miss school, take pictures. Would that count? She goes, yes. So it wasn't, the motives weren't necessarily the purest by launching this concept of joining a charity. But then next thing you know, we had 2-3 cars just crammed with diapers and wipes. And we're like, okay, this is really good. So we wanted to make it a very specific point to sponsor a charity at each event, not make it complicated. We don't collect money on behalf of the charity, just something where people can just tangibly bring something. And so all of us founders we're part of and involved with and have relationships with a lot of nonprofits throughout the Valley. And so each month we take turns and who's going to find the charity for this month.
That is great. I mean, just giving back. It's just the perfect way to tie in with people getting together on a monthly basis. Just like you said, keeping it simple.
Keeping it simple. Having a burger and giving back. Maybe that's a different club. I'm just not giving back the burger.
With or without bourbon. I'm going to keep coming back to that. I won't deny it.
Never give back the bourbon.
I'm going to try not to steal your idea.
Well, actually, on that note, has there ever been any thought to like branching out and let's say, I'm here in Phoenix, obviously, so I'm with your group. But whether it's Jim up in the Seattle area or Marty in Southern California, would there be any like franchising the Boys Burger Club idea?
Oh yeah, we've talked to many. We've had a lot of people reach out to us and go, "Hey, I'm in this city. Can we rip off this idea? Use the logos somehow, kind of just replicate it." And I'm like, I don't care. That's fine with me. I'll fly out there for the inaugural event, but I'm not doing the work, and no one's actually followed up with me on that, other than outside show any kind of interest. And again, I'm not gonna track somebody down if it's got to be that difficult to invite a bunch of people together and have a hamburger every month.
Well, Marty, Jim, there you go. I think you've been throwing the softball. Do with it as you will. Swing the bat.
How would you say the burger scene has changed down in Phoenix? I ask because I live in Seattle. We have a lot of good burger joints here, but the trends have kind of shifted toward. I don't go so far as to say hipster, but things like, we'll make a burger and we'll throw a bunch of kale and truffles on it and charge $25 for it. Not really my scene. So, but trends are trends. So, kind of what are you seeing down there in Phoenix? What are the trends like? Are they better or worse right now?
Oh, it is. Eric can attest to this. It has blown up over the last 7 to 8 years. As we mentioned earlier, I'm from Southern California. I escaped in 1994, but growing up in LA, it was all about food. It didn't matter what kind of food that you wanted; it was everywhere. And then when I moved out to Arizona, it was slim pickings. And then we started getting the big chains. And I would say in past the last 7 to 8 years, and I think it really coincided with the big craze out here for microbrewing and craft beers and just the bar scene. Old Town Scottsdale started blowing up. And I think it was a little bit delayed because downtown Phoenix isn't much. There's a lot downtown Phoenix, but downtown Phoenix is not like Seattle. It's not like Manhattan. Hey, we're in Phoenix for 3 days, so let's check out the nightlife in downtown Phoenix. So it's very sporadic out here. But there are, we have burger places here that make, top 10 lists in the nation now. And every type of burger you want, there's a variety of different types of places. Even that they go as far as even having places that specialize in vegan burgers. They will never be invited to a Boys Burger Club event. But if you're into burgers, you could try a new place every day for a month and get a quality burger.
I can attest to that. Absolutely. So, yeah, no doubt about it. And with the Facebook page, what I like about it, it's not just all about the events. There's just people throwing stuff up on there. Like I think it was you shared something about your son going to Tokyo and bringing back a great burger, or people just like, I did this smash burger with my friend. So how cool is that for you to have people just chiming in when it's a non-event kind of thing?
It's amazing. The number one, I use the Facebook group for two purposes. One, obviously promote our Boys Burger Club events, but when I travel to a new city, I love the Boys Burger Club Facebook group because I'll go on there and say, hey, I'm spending a night in Seattle. Where's the best burger to go to? And I will get some incredible recommendations. So I've used this as I've traveled throughout the country. If I'm in town for a day or two, I just lean on the fellow members, recommendations, and I've discovered some really badass burgers just because of the Facebook group.
Nice. Well, I'm going to put Marty and Jim, I'm going to put you on the spot, and I'm going to go to Marty first because welcome back, Marty. Mike's coming out to your neck of the woods out there in Southern California. Where's the kick-ass burger place you're sending him? And then Jim, of course, you're getting the same question, so you can start thinking while Marty's going at it on the spot.
So for me,
I might fight you on this because I've got my favorites.
I think he knows what I'm about to say, being from Southern California, but it's a chain. So does it count?
Wait, are you going? I know how much you love In-N-Out, Marty, because we talked about that on our burger.
We have
but would it be Tommy's Burgers?
Tommy's is a close second for me.
Yeah, okay. It's one of my favorites. And I have to stop for me when I go there. But my favorite chili burger in all of the San Fernando Valley. Have you ever been to the Munch Box on Devonshire Street?
No, I was going to say Carney's out there, I haven't been to that one. So
the Munch Box, it's cash only. There's only outdoor seating. This thing has been around probably since the 60s. It's now designated a historical site. There's a bunch of shopping around it. And I've been going there since I was a kid. And it completely survived the big giant Northridge earthquake. Mm-hmm. And then like a year later, because Devonshire Road, if you're familiar with the area, that used to be the main truckers street to use because the 118 wasn't built yet. And some trucker fell asleep at the wheel and drove right through it. But they rebuilt it and survived the earthquake. But but it's my favorite. It's a game changer for me.
And well, just quickly, because I know I would love to franchise one out here. What's your take on Yaki's Burgers? Have you had one of those?
I have not. Not familiar with that.
Well, we'll talk more about that one at a later date because I think getting one out here would be great because they put a burger, a chicken patty, and then a bunch of cool yaki sauce.
Oh, sounds amazing.
Oh, it's good. So, but Jim, we're going to go to you. What's your Seattle area go-to for Mike? And maybe we can throw one back at you for your area.
Okay, so I will say that the best burger place I've been to up here sadly doesn't exist anymore. It was called Triple X Root Beer. It was a place that made its own root beer floats and had these amazing plate-sized burgers. Make burgers wider, not taller, right? These guys were amazing, and their food and their shakes were delicious. Sadly, they went out of business last year, and they're a Burger Master now. So unfortunately that can't be my pick. I'm gonna have to go with it's a local chain. It's called Little Woody's, and they make fantastic burgers. They have avoided a lot of the pretentiousness of a lot of the local burger places, but they're actually really popular. They have a stand at the Mariners games. They have a stand at Microsoft campus, and they make really good stuff. So that's got to be my pick, is Little Woody's.
I like it. And have you been to that one, Mike? Whenever you're up there?
No. I'm not gonna lie. Here's the thing. I have this reputation or this assumption that people have of me is that the only thing I eat are hamburgers because.
Well, I mean, you are with the Boys Burger Club, so I mean, I can see how that might be happening for some people.
But when I go to Seattle and I can't remember the name of the restaurant, I want them to dump a giant bucket of shellfish on my table with the corn and so forth. So it wouldn't if I was in Seattle, it wouldn't cross my mind to explore the burger scene because it's seafood and I love seafood as well.
Yeah, nobody comes here for the burgers. They come here for the sushi and the seafood.
There you go.
It's the truth.
Well, but now thanks to you, Jim, we have one place I'll go to if you want to balance it out, maybe one day out of the 7. So
right.
But folks, I just want to take a quick break now. Remind you that you were watching or listening to the All Over the Place podcast, where the fun sanity never ends. And we are glad to have with us today Mike Weinstein from the Boys Burger Club with their 7th anniversary coming up. And it's going to be held where I am. And I apologize because I'm on remote, so I'm shifting with the sun right now. So I'm Billy Idol said, "Do not stand in the shadows." I have no choice but to sit in the shadows. So it's where I am. But now, Mike, looking ahead to as you go into your 7th year, what are some places that are maybe on tap for the Boys Burger Club? Any locations chosen yet?
No, we don't think that far ahead. What we've had to do is we've had to set dates on the calendar. But no, after we do our 7-year anniversary at Aioli on December 6th. We do have a date already on the calendar for January, but we haven't picked a place yet.
TBD. I like it. That means folks just keep checking it out at boysburgerclub.com. Check them out on Facebook. Are there any other socials? Are there any X pages or Instagram, anything like that, Mike?
We are on Instagram, but I'm not very good on Instagram. I'm an old dude that knows how to use Facebook. I know how to use Facebook really well. We have our own real estate podcast, which we're on Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff. And I've never touched it in my life. We just have people that do that are in their 20s.
Yeah, welcome to life here at All Over the Place, where we are pretty much the same thing. If Instagram wasn't linked in to Facebook to a large degree, I'd be floundering and pretty much just in the same situation as you. So yeah.
So
by the way, it should be illegal to look at that Facebook page on an empty stomach.
Maybe it's a motivator. The philanthropy. So when you said that different people it's their turn to pick the charity. So essentially, you find out what their need is and provide that. So
yeah, exactly. We'll reach out to them. We will ask them to attend the event, which most of them do, because then they can bring some brochures and some marketing collateral. We'll interview them, prior to the event and post it on the Facebook group. So we want to get them some exposure. We have to, again, be very clear. We're not collecting any cash or any monies from anyone, but it needs to be a charity that, and we prefer local charities, but it needs to be a charity that says, hey, these are easy, specific items that people could order on Amazon, go to Walmart, pick up, and bring to the event. And so, like I said, on December 6th, we're partnering with the Be Kind Foundation, and we are asking everybody to go grab some blankets for battered women. And then last month, or the last 2 months, we've actually partnered with and benefited two different domestic violence shelters. I've got a lot of history on being on boards with domestic violence shelters, and I've just got involved with that many years ago. So it's a near and dear place in my heart. And then sometimes, we could do, a food can drive, just something where people can just not overthink it, stop at the store and bring some supplies and bring them. So if anyone is listening to this that is local in Arizona and you got a charity that could benefit, we did one. It was an organization that worked with public schools and helping kids learn how to read. So everybody got to go down to the bookstore or order some books on Amazon, and that was a lot of fun as well.
Very, very cool.
Very cool.
Right on.
So, folks, I once again want to thank Mike Weinstein from the Boys Burger Club for being here on all over the place. Check him out at www.boysburgerclub.com. Also, go to the Facebook page. Like Jim said, you are warned to make sure you have some food nearby, because you don't want to do it on an empty stomach. Read along, watch along, and Mike, welcome here anytime here on All Over the Place to keep us updated on what's going on.
Well, if we're wrapping up, I've got to say I'm pretty disappointed in you.
What did I forget?
Everywhere I go, there's the number one question I get asked all the time.
I don't want to throw
you. Go anywhere without getting asked the question, and you should know better.
Well, here's the thing. I do know how tough that is for some people to say, what is your favorite burger place? Because you don't want to offend any of the other burger spots. But if you are willing, Mike, I was trying to avoid this. But if you have, I'll put you on the spot. What is your favorite burger place, either in the 7 years that you've been doing the Boys Burger Club or off the charts, so we can maybe get a little plug-in for somebody outside of the Phoenix area?
All right. So I don't settle on one. I always settle on three. And like Jim, two of my all-time favorites over the years had shut down. So then I started questioning my my judgment in burgers. But I picked three. I don't, yes, I'm not trying to offend other places. I do not, and I want to be very clear if people go to our Facebook group, I'm not a food critic. I'm not a burger critic. I will never criticize another establishment's place because I've had a bad experience or anything like that. So we never focus on the negative. So I would say my top three is a place called Rehab down in Old Town Scottsdale. I can't get away from it. It's really good. They won't entertain us. They won't reserve rooms for one of our events. And then have you ever been to Hatchet in Central Phoenix?
No, I have not been there yet. I've heard good things about it, but haven't been yet.
If you like green chilies, this is the burger place. And then the shocking one that most people would never see coming is on Cactus and Tatum Boulevard. There's a golf course called Stone Creek. And the clubhouse, after you get done with 18 holes, that clubhouse has one of, and you would never know it because it's just a golf course, actually is one of the best hamburgers in all of Arizona.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So there's your three, and I appreciate that. So see, folks, I wasn't avoiding anything. I'm glad Mike was able to get around what he wanted to get to without offending anybody. Now, guys, and I should have watched our burger episode beforehand, because we had a three for Mike of our three favorite burgers we did last year. And guys, you remember what our plus one was that night? Was it favorite fries, or what was our plus one? Does anybody remember?
Yeah, I think it was fries.
So, Mike, doesn't have to be going with any of the burger places that you mentioned, but is there a particular fry that sticks out in your mind that you like at any of the places you've gone to?
Oh gosh, that's
burger and fries. It goes together.
All right, I'm gonna have to have my top four. I'm gonna be complicated and difficult here because if I'm really getting fat and sassy, I'm gonna throw down some onion rings.
Yes.
And have you ever been to Harvey Weinbergers?
Yes, I have been there.
That's in one of my top best burgers. But I sometimes go there because I just want to throw down some onion rings. And I'm more of an onion ring guy than a French fry guy. I love French fries, but if I'm living large, I'm going to do the onion rings.
Well, Jim, if I remember correctly, one of your burger places that you mentioned you liked because you're able to put one of your favorite burgers there, put the onion rings right on the burger. Am I correct on that one? Do I remember that right?
Yeah, that was Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr.,
Hardee's,
yes.
Hardee's, depending on where you live. But
I just went today, and I got the double Western
nice.
bacon cheeseburger with the onion rings.
Western
Absolutely.
burger, the Western bacon burger with the onion on there. Oh, heaven!
I was actually I
heaven.
was in the Norterra area. I didn't even know it existed, and I was in the car with a friend of mine, and we were going to Lowe's. I'm like, holy crap! There's a Carl's Jr. And I just banged on that steering wheel, turned right in there, and I'm like, so I got a little delayed in going to the Lowe's.
Yeah, I'm also a California refugee, and that's one of the things I miss most about living there was the Carl's Jr.'s. I live an hour and a half away from the nearest one here. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. So, Eric, I got to ask you.
Yes.
The chair in Lake Havasu. Do you remember the burger?
Oh, yes. Now,
Mike.
Mike, have you been to this place up in Havasu?
I don't know. I was just in Lake Havasu last year because my mom she put together a bucket list of all the things she wants me to do with her, and I don't Lake Havasu was on the list, so we went.
Well, Marty took me to the chair for my birthday a couple of years ago, and
it's right next to the channel, looking
Yeah,
directly into the
I
road.
did have that. Yes,
Big giant chair.
Dude, if you dug deep into our Facebook feed, it would be there. Yes.
Nice. Well, so Marty helped me out on this one. Burger, obviously.
So it's called the Trust Me.
And ice cream,
peanut butter and jelly.
Yes, peanut butter and jelly, ice cream.
One other weird thing on there, and it's called Trust Me, for obvious reasons. I have not had it. He had it, and I don't know.
All right. Well, let me ask you guys a question. What doesn't belong on a burger? Like, we see people going nuts. Like, people just going freaking crazy on burgers.
Well, I'll go last on this one because I want to see what my friends and co-hosts say.
Well, other than my personal, I don't like onions, but they belong on a burger, no doubt about it. Enough people like it that I know I'm an outlier. But I did see a pizza burger. And essentially, instead of a bun, it was pizza. And these are two really good things. They don't need to be mashed together.
It's like they use glazed donuts as the bun. So I'm like, that's a little too much for me.
I've seen that too. That's not good.
Well,
Jim.
Jim, to you.
Yeah. So there's a chain here called Dick's. And they make really good burgers. By the way, Seattle's the only place you can tell somebody eat a bag of dicks, and it's not an insult. But yeah, their burgers are delish, and they're super cheap. That's why everybody loves them, because they're both tasty and cheap. But for some reason, they insist on putting Thousand Island dressing on them, and which to me almost spoils it because I'm not a big fan of Thousand Island. So
that's a Big Mac.
But yeah, Thousand Island is pretty much we're gonna go back to Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and it's pretty much the special sauce on everything.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of that either, but I like Big Macs, but not with the special sauce. That's me though. All
right. Me, I can't, and I'm going to offend people, and people are going to want to fight me on this. Fried egg does not belong on a burger, man. I don't want a runny egg. I don't want an egg. I love eggs. Eggs are for breakfast. Eggs do not belong on a burger. I do not want to combine my breakfast with my lunch. I want to savor each one separately. That's my big one.
My tummy after going to Red Robin disagrees with you.
I love Red Robin. But,
I'm going to answer your question in just a second, Mike. But on what you just said, what is your thought on chains or wherever you are? But I'm going to use McDonald's specifically in comparison with Burger King, because McDonald's, there's a set time, like their breakfast hour, you cannot get a burger. You can't get anything like you can only get the breakfast menu. Burger King, well, most ones that I've been to, you can get whatever you want any time of day. To me, it's not an enticement. Like McDonald's serves breakfast all day long, or Jack in the Box, same thing. I want to be able to have a burger all day long. I don't care about having breakfast items. As a Boys Burger Club member, what's your take on that?
Well, first of all, yeah, I mean, we want that option and we want that right to. I appreciate your passion, Eric. I mean, you freaking want to have a burger at any time.
I want a Whopper any time of day.
Right. Go to Circle K. AM, PM.
Do I have to for a burger?
For you.
Well, even I have my limits, and I'll eat an Egg McMuffin. If
Is
that's
that
the
even
case,
is
so.
that even food?
Actually, I hear it's good. I can't bring myself to it. Like
Yeah.
I hear like Circle K's food is really good. It's really cheap. Like, but I am not wanting a chili dog from Circle K at any
Their
time of
pizza is good. I will not get anything, off the menu other than that if I don't have to. But to loop back and answer your question as to what I think doesn't belong, like what doesn't belong, this is the libertarian. I'm surprised Marty didn't go this route. As a libertarian, whatever tastes good to you, I don't care. I've learned to live with people liking pineapple on pizza. I actually tried pickles on pizza when I was back in Ohio. I love it. I can't live without it now. But whatever works for you, I don't care. I might like something that you don't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge.
I'm not going to beat the crap out of you if you put an egg on it. I'm just saying, in my opinion, it doesn't belong on a burger.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
You just cast a mean scowl on someone. Is that what you do?
Yeah,
There's a lot of
I'm
judgment here.
disappointed.
Cock a John Belushi
Eyes of
style
judgment.
eyebrow at them.
Did you just say? Never mind.
I said cock an eyebrow, Marty. Get your head out of the gutter. We're not talking about a bag of dicks right now up in Jim's neck of the woods. So. But on that filthy note, folks, thanks once again for watching or listening to All Over the Place. We've had a phenomenal time today with Mike Weinstein from the Boys Burger Club. And like I said, Mike, welcome back anytime to let us know what's going on with the next events. And let's eat burgers, folks. Not all the time, especially if you're in Seattle area. Eat some seafood while you're up there. But Mike, awesome having you. Marty and Jim, awesome. Marty, so glad to have you back on the show, man. We missed you, and we're glad you're back.
Me too.
All right, guys, appreciate it. Thank you. And we're just changing the world one bun at a time.
Nice.
Truth. All right, we'll see you folks in the Phoenix area. Make sure you're out here for the blanket drive for Foundation. And I had it in my head now, hanging on to hope.
Foundation.
Hang on to hope. That's going to be on December 6th here at the Aioli Gourmet Burgers on 32nd and Shea in Phoenix. We'll see you there for the 7th anniversary, and we'll be throwing back a few of these and some burgers. Many buns at a time. All right, take care, everyone. Thanks for watching and or listening to All Over the Place. We'll be back real soon. Take care.